Hello, so bit of backstory before I begin with anything else. Around the first, maybe second week of January, I saw this open call for migrants to do some singing at a cabaret. And I was like, am I a migrant? So I sent them an email because they asked for a bunch of things. So I sent them an email explaining I'm not even sure if I count as a migrant, and also saying my backstory and suggesting some songs that I would be willing to sing. Then I had to wait a few days, I think, and then I got an email saying, could you please sing one of these 2 songs for us and we can just have a listen. So I did that. And I sent it off, and then a few days later, maybe a week later, I got an email saying they wanted me, which is very strange and cool. But then, because of how nervous I get about telling people things, I'm so bad at telling people anything, I kind of didn't tell anyone for a while. But then yesterday, eventually I was like, no, I need to tell at least my parents because they'll want to know. So I told them yesterday morning, which was their, like, evening, and they were obviously very excited for me. And then I was like, right, I need to tell my grandmother because A, I live with her, and B, if I don't tell her, my mum will. So I told her. Oh, and I posted it on like my private Instagram to be like, any friends who live in London, if you want to come along, I'll be there. And obviously a couple of friends were excited. They wrote back on like the Instagram post saying, ah, amazing, you know. And then my mum sent me a message sort of late last night, so their morning, asking me how I felt about sharing the news with people and like if I wanted people to come or if I'd rather that no one came, which I thought was very decent of her to ask. And I wrote back and I said, look, I don't mind you telling people, but I don't want anyone to come just for me because I'm literally singing one song. Like, I don't want that to be the reason that people are spending money and coming into London for that. Anyway, cut to like half an hour later when I see that my aunt, so my mum's sister, put up a Facebook post saying, I've got a special niece performing in this, anyone want to join me coming? Which is just so insane. And like last night, I think it was just before bed, and I was just like, I can't believe this. Like, there are people who are coming to see me perform in like a cabaret in London. What? And it's just like, obviously I've worked for the last year and that was really cool, obviously, but there's something about this that's just even more special, and maybe it is the fact that it's in London and that feels really cool and special and that family's gonna be there, and the fact that I'm literally hired to sing. Like, in my other job, I was partly hired for my singing, I was partly hired for my dancing, I was partly hired for my European passport, and I was hired for the entertainment duties during the day as well. Like, there was so much more, whereas this is literally, they've cast me based off my voice, which is mental because I've always not had any self-belief in my voice. I don't think, I definitely think I've got better, but I never used to think I was a singer. So to have a gig where I'm singing and that's all I'm doing, that's very cool. And it only hit me yesterday after I saw this post from my aunt, because there were people then that I don't know but that she knows commenting, oh, I'd love to come, like book me some tickets, which is just insane. Mental. So cool. So exciting. The next few weeks are going to be pretty exciting, I reckon. And I've decided on at least 3 headshots, which you would have seen in the last video, and I'll probably end up getting 1 or 2 more. But like, it's just, it all feels really exciting and good. Hello, this is a rare occasion where I am outside and it's not me coming back from a show or a dance class or something like that. I'm actually on my way to go babysitting. Now, I do a lot of babysitting for one set of cousins, and this is the first time, I think, at least in a long while, that I'm babysitting for this other set of cousins, but they're really lovely, so I am looking forward to it. I'm really glad they asked. They only called this morning. But I just wanted to update a little bit on what's happening with the cabaret, because I think it was yesterday or maybe the day before I got an email saying, here's the schedule, here's what's happening, blah blah blah, and we would also like everyone to sing one song all together at the end. And they sent the sheet music and that was it. And I was a bit worried because the sheet music was kind of all over the place from like the original song. It was very much a cut mix match version, and I was just like, oh, how am I going to learn this? And there were bits that were solo lines and I was like, are we doing this as solos or are we all singing everything together? Like, what's happening? Anyway, a few hours later, or maybe it was the next day, they sent through and said, we've split it into 3 parts, your part A, your part B, your part C, and here are some like vocal tracks to follow. And I was very grateful for that. So I've kind of spent my days practicing that, and I've brought my laptop so I can keep listening to that once they're asleep. And anything else to say? I haven't properly practiced my song in a few days, which is making me nervous, actually in over a week now. I've kind of practiced, you know, going through the lyrics, which I think I know like the back of my hand, but still, I say that now, but I don't want to end up being in front of a crowd and then forgetting the lyrics or singing the wrong bit. So I think I'm going to spend a bit of time doing that tomorrow as well. But yeah, that's the update for now, and I'll see you later. So here is Times Are Hard for Dreamers. walking back from the station, I have had the most wonderful night. Obviously, I haven't filmed very much. That's okay. It's just the way it's been today. Oh, it's dark. But I'll tell you what, it's just been such a good night. Such a good night. As I was walking there, I was feeling a bit nervous because I do get nervous before performing, especially singing, because I know it's sort of my weakest, I would say, or at least that's what I've always thought. And I'm literally just going to be standing up there and singing. But I did have a moment. I was a bit nervous. And I was getting changed, and what I've ended up wearing is nothing compared to what I was originally planning to wear. I have this lovely one piece that I got from my cousin, and for a few days already I'd planned to wear that because my mum asked me what I was going to wear, and I was like, I'm going to wear that. Originally I was going to wear my blue lemon dress, and she was like, no, that's too jolly. I was like, okay. So then I said, well, I have this other thing, what do you think of that? And she was like, that's perfect. And then tonight I tried it on, and it was just a bit big, I guess. That's the only real word I can think to describe it. And I was like, I can't wear this, but I'm not thrilled about it. And then I found this other dress. I'll show you when I get back inside. And it's a really nice black dress, and I don't usually wear black, but actually I got this from the same cousin at the same time. She just dumped a bunch of clothes with me, and I picked out a few that I liked. One of them was this, and I love it. And I did like it when I tried it on, but I just never wear black, and I never really would know the right occasion to wear this. I brought it with me to Greece thinking, oh, it'd be great for like singing a song, and then I just always went for my red dress. And same in Lapland, actually. I think I did bring this one, but I was like, no, red is more festive. So anyway, decided to wear this one and decided to go kind of with a red theme. So I've got these red flower earrings, and I'll show you everything inside. And I used my eyeshadow palette, and I used a new colour, and I really like it. And I do think I went a little bit much on the makeup, but that's by my own standards, probably not by anyone else's. Although it was really sweet, someone turned to me at one point and just completely out of the blue went, "You're really beautiful." I was like, oh, couldn't quite believe it. And then equally was like, imposter syndrome. No, I'm not. I'm wearing makeup. But anyway, the night was so good. I wasn't sure what I was expecting. I've never done anything with this group before, and I knew that a few of them knew each other. And I think I mentioned that a few days ago, they all released everyone's bios, and everyone's was like, the band's visit, waitress, Sunday in the Park with George, etc., etc., like proper West End and off West End shows. And I was there like, I've done a year of working in hotels. So I was really nervous about kind of standing up there with the rest of these people. Oh, and I think I said that they sent us a song, another song to learn for all together. Turns out I was the only one who learnt it off by heart, and I didn't really need to worry about it, but I'm glad that I did. But I was the second singer of the evening, and I was really happy about that. But the host, sorry, I get distracted. The host was phenomenal. She was brilliant. She was so good. But everyone was, all the singers, all the performers, everyone. It was just such a fabulous night. And at the end, the person who's in charge came up to me and said, like, you shouldn't have to question if you're a migrant or not. If you're questioning it, that means you are. And I was like, oh, that's really sweet. But everyone's stories resonated so deeply with me. Like, there wasn't a single thing that someone said where I was like, nah. Every single one I was like, oh yeah, me too. Right, I probably need to head inside soon, so I'll film this rest either tomorrow or tonight when I get in. I'll see you in a bit. All right, I'm back for now. And the reason I say for now is because my parents might call at any point. So this is what I was wearing. Well, you'll have seen it in the video anyway. And I am a big fan of this dress. Time to take the earrings out. I just had the best night. Actually, I need to take my makeup off so you can come with me. I wasn't sure what to do with my hair, but I'm quite happy with this, I think. We've got our good old trusty these things. And basically, I think I've mentioned this, but maybe not. The company that organised it is called the Jewish Cabaret, but the cabaret tonight was called the Migrants Cabaret, and it was all about sort of immigrant stories within this industry. And it was just so good, so good. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but like I laughed, I cried. It was a full-on emotional roller coaster. It was so good. The host, I think I did already mention her, but she was fantastic. But everyone who got up and performed, I was just like, I'm in love with you. And loads of people came up to me after to say that I was good, which I wouldn't usually mention because that seems odd. But it just meant so much to me because I was in with this crowd of amazing people and so talented and so nice. Oh, they were all gems and so supportive of each other. Like, it was just such a lovely group. But yes, the reason why I was mentioning the Jewish Cabaret and the Migrants Cabaret and blah 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 is because I think they have loads more stuff planned, and I think it would be really lovely if any of you are watching this for you to go see it, if you're in London obviously, because originally when I auditioned to do this I was like, it'll just be nice to sing, you know, and I don't even really mind that it's unpaid. Like, it's just a nice opportunity, and you know, you just never know what can come of it. But what I didn't expect was to have such a good evening, and I don't know what the ticket prices were, but I do know that because I'm a very stingy person, I probably wouldn't have spent money to come. And by performing, all I had to do was sing a little song, and then I got to experience the whole night for free. And that to me was so worth it. And I do think now that I've seen it, I would say it's worth it. And maybe I am biased because I was in it, but I still think like it really is worth it. So I reckon give them a follow on Instagram or Twitter or whatever social media you use. And I know that they said they're working on a production for the summer, which is going to be about migrant stories. And if you're around, actually by the time you're watching this, it might already be happening or it might have even happened. But if you're around, I reckon go check it out because I imagine it'll be quite good. I think that's all I have to say. I might end up editing this video and realise that there's more I've forgotten. But basically it boils down to go check out the Jewish Cabaret because I love what they're doing and the people I performed with were amazing and so nice. And I just had a great night. All right. I will finish taking off my makeup and then get into pyjamas and hopefully chat to my parents and otherwise sleep. I've got a busy day tomorrow as well, and I think it's something I'm not allowed to talk about because I signed a contract, but it's not a very big deal. It'll just be a bit of fun for a bit of money. And I will see you all soon, probably. Bye! The city's waiting.